Welcome to Rollin with Mike, podcast on wheels. My name is Mike Wilson, aka Rollin Mike, your host. I am a writer, speaker, and disability coach, and author of a book titled Return from the Edge. 31 years ago, I was injured in a life-altering motor vehicle accident that left me as a quadriplegic. This is my story. Today, on the Rollin with Mike podcast on wheels, we have someone here that I'd like to introduce. His name is Cayden Thomas. He's a 10th grader, sophomore at J.W. Mitchell High School. I just wanted to talk to him a little bit about life, sports, and aspirations or goals that he may have. When he first got started in the game of football, what grade was it? First or second grade?
It was either first or kindergarten when I started.
Okay.
I was 5 years old.
What were your initial thoughts going into it?
I didn't want to play football at first. My dad, he just basically said, threw a helmet on me and was like, go out there, you're going to go play football. And then I just went from there.
You haven't been too bad. Yeah, it's kind of worked out for the best. Do you remember early on ever getting upset or angry, like coming home and being like, I don't want to play anymore?
Yeah, I used to practice I didn't like it at all when I was young because I was so small, and it was like the younger age was a 3-year age gap. So like we were playing against all these bigger, older kids, and I came home and I just cried. I didn't want to play. And then eventually it all worked out.
What position did you originally start off playing?
Offensive line or something like that. I was like a guard or something like that. Or defense. I think it was offensive line. I definitely played.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. I wish I would have paid to see you get crushed or something on the line.
Yeah.
When you started to develop more talents, did you know what position that you wanted to play?
I always played like running back. So I was like a running back, but then like, I don't know, I kind of just wanted to like be more in control. So then I just told my dad, I was like, hey, let me try out quarterback. And then he was like, all right, we need a quarterback. So then I just went out there and figured it out.
Controlling the huddle, was that a challenge for you?
I already knew all the plays, so it wasn't like calling the plays. It was just getting everybody to like pay attention to you while you're trying to call the plays, because they'll be talking over here and they'll be talking, and I'll be like, hey, come on, we got to run the play. And then we just go out and run it.
When I helped coach a couple of years ago with basketball, getting you guys to talk to each other, that was a big struggle.
Yeah.
How's that been, the adjustment period? Are they paying more attention?
Yeah, definitely. Just because I feel like that role that I play on the team, they do pay a lot more attention. Now in the huddle, it's dead silent. Nobody talks. They just listen to me for the plays. But like how we run our offense, it's like a no huddle offense. You got to just call out the plays and they're all eyes on listening to you. So it's a different type of leadership. So say it's more of a, do they respect you or do they not?
When the play's called in, is the play called in after each play?
Yeah.
And that's how you run it?
Yeah.
Do you have any say-so as to what you may see open so you can speak out?
He has a lot of trust with me telling him what I see. So like, say I see this is open, he'll listen to me, and then maybe that next drive will run that play. But like during the play, if I see something open, I can like check it into like a quick game or like a deep pass that I see open, and then he is fine with it.
It's always a challenge between a coach and a player, and seeing that, and at what point do you trust the instincts of quarterback or the receiver or the running back and what they may see in the huddle? So once you get up to the line, you're checking, you're reading the defense, right? Are you capable of changing the play, or does the coach need to?
Definitely, they do change it sometimes. Like say we go on 2 and then like they don't jump, then he'll change it. But like if I walk up to the line and I see that hitch route right there is wide open, then I'll just check it to like a hitch, and then I'll just throw it, and then we'll get the yards.
No, this season the games that I've been to, they've been pretty high scoring, but it seems like to me that developing the receivers this
Yeah.
year has been kind of a challenge from what I see.
Last year, one of our main receivers, Brady Miller, he barely got any catches last year. I mean, barely even touched the ball. And now this year, he's like the leading receiver. So, like, he has grown a lot. But, like, I feel like we still have a very young team. So it's going to take a while to get, like, developed and to see for the field. Like, the receivers see where the open spots are to go and stuff like that.
I've noticed that with Bryce, too, being in a slot position,
Yeah.
you got a split second to make that cut.
Yeah.
And I believe it's from where I sit, it's a timing issue. So it's got to
It
be a
is.
trust.
Yeah.
You got to know that that's it. And the ball needs to be
Come
there.
out.
'Cause
Yeah.
if he has a split second to make to make that move, because when you got talented, skilled players in a position, if they don't have any open space, it don't matter how quick they are, because they're going to be tackled right on the spot. I know as a QB, when you throw the ball, I'm sure in the learning curve, you're a little nervous because you're like, what if he doesn't look?
Yeah.
What if he, I throw an interception?
Yeah.
So does that run through your head some?
So, like, routes on air, there's no defense, no nothing. They're just running the routes. So, like, in the game, they might get bumped off that path, and then I have to adjust to where they got bumped off or didn't stay on the track.
I get that. I think you, Bryce, and Corey, they bumped you all up to varsity.
Yeah.
And now this year, being sophomores, you all have had to step up for lack of people. How has that adjustment period been? To say, I mean, where's your confidence level?
I feel like me, Bryce, and Corey, not just us, but many others, we've prepared for like this moment. And since Little League to now, we've just been training and working just to play varsity football. So I feel like it wasn't that big of a change, really. It was just more of an adjustment because you had to, on varsity, they're a lot faster, they're stronger, they can make a play on the ball faster, all that. But like, I feel like we've just been ready for it since we were little.
You have any words of advice for any of those that are now in the youth league with the Trinity Mustangs? You're starting to be looked up on.
Yeah.
You're the quarterback. You're the 10th grade. All the girls will be quarterback. That's how it usually is, but now I'm not so sure about that. But along with that comes greater responsibility.
At times, they're not going to want to do it anymore. Like, I know for me, it just because you got 3-4 practices a week, and you're probably going to play throughout Little League. So it's what, 5 years, 6 years of Little League, and it's going to be a long process. But you just have to trust the process, really, and it'll like work out in the end.
I never like to lose. So as you've gotten older and started to have to absorb some losses, how does that affect you? Are you able to sleep? Does it bother you?
Yeah, it hurts after a loss, especially like a loss that you could have won and you should have won. But now I've kind of learned to just, that's the past. Like, you got to move on. Like, yeah, it's a loss and it hurts, but like, you still got a game to get ready for the next week. So like, I just learned to put it in the past and move on.
That's a similar trait for me. I wouldn't be able to sleep very well. It'd take me a while to get to sleep. Because the only thing I wanted to do was get back on the field, get back on the basketball court, because then I can feel like I get some confidence, can redeem myself. I completely get that. What about new players that have came in along the way? I believe you and Corey and Bryce, did you all three start together? Or
I started at 5 and then Corey and Bryce started at 6.
okay.
It's like I was a year earlier.
As you got new players in, just number one, you're developing your friendship along the way. So how is that to separate the game of football and friendship? What, is the mix of that?
One of our good buddies now, RJ, he He came middle school year. I think we started playing with him. And now he's one of our best friends. I mean, he goes to training with us. We go catch. We play 7-on-7 together. We just do so much. So I feel like, yeah, new people that do like come to your team or like join the team, we kind of just bring them in, then we all become friends.
What the relationships that you've built with coaches, what are some of those, um, how has that been? And how there's just a kind of a twofold question. What's that been like? And what coaches have really, um, what coaches have you really molded with, really?
My dad has been coaching me since I was 5. He's probably like the best coach I've ever had, and he's still coaching with me to this day. So I feel like me and him just like have a bond that just like can't be broken. And we're just here now. Like it's high school, you get to
Yeah.
show it all.
Well, that's a special relationship between a dad and a son. You hear of it. There's different professionals that have been there, college players that have been there.
Yeah.
Their dads have been college coaches, but they grew up and then ended up going and attending the college that their dad was the coach at. I know when I first moved down here with your dad, I remember coming to the first little practice you guys had,
Yeah.
flag football.
Yeah.
So all of you are flag football. And my sister-in-law introduced me to your dad afterwards. Y'all were doing this and this, and he hollered at you or whatever. And he's like, man, that boy, he's something else. He's like, you can get on to him and be angry with him, and he's still just laughing. He thinks it's funny. I'll never forget that. With you, Cayden, even through basketball and football, you always give 100%.
Yeah.
For the most part that I've ever watched you, whether you're slashing, whatever you're doing, you're trying your best. That shows that the love, the respect, the responsibility that you take on every time. Now in practice, you can goof off
Yeah.
a little bit more. And it'll drive drive coaches crazy. I'm sure your dad and other coaches get on a different subject. How's your mom been with all of it? What kind of like relationship bond when it comes to that?
She's a big support system, like big. And she'll let me know too. She'll, after the game, we get in the car. Hey, Cayden, what happened on this play? I was like, Mom, I missed a throw or something like that. Hey, Cayden, why didn't you throw it to him instead of him? Why didn't you run the ball on this play? She just keeps it like real with me and just tells me, she just straight up just tells me like why I didn't do this or what I did wrong. She knows a lot about the game.
My dad used to do the same thing. We get in the car, come home, and he didn't know a lot of, he learned the game
Yeah.
through us.
Yeah.
So he would say, why didn't you do this? Why? Dad, shut up. I don't want to hear it. I know I messed up.
Yeah.
I know I didn't do this. I know I didn't do that. I don't want to hear it. So I'm going to think about it for the next few hours.
Yeah.
Like I'm the one that's going to be up at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, not sleeping because this football or whatever basketball game for me.
Yeah.
What kind of training are you involved in now?
During the season, I don't do much strength and conditioning training. It's just my quarterback coach, the stable down in Tampa. That's where I go to. And they just work on your craft. So, like in season, say your footwork's looking bad, then they'll work on that. Say, like RPO, they seen you miss the throw, then we'll work on those. And then off season is uh stable training, which is quarterback training and speed and conditioning to get like stronger, faster, and all that.
I know you see the game changing more into see more black quarterbacks
Yeah.
in there and getting the opportunities. Do you watch any of that?
When I was like first starting, like I loved Patrick Mahomes. I just loved the way he played. He was so smooth. He can run, get yards, and I always like uh match my game off of his or try to at least.
You're similar though in the way the escapability
Yeah.
that you have, the speed that you
Yeah.
have. It's more of it's more for you than is the challenge of how much time how much time is the line giving you.
Yeah.
I know the offensive line has did pretty
Yeah,
well.
the offensive line has been doing great.
Are they older?
They are.
Okay.
They're all seniors, the whole line.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so next year we're gonna have a
Next year,
whole new group.
Ooh, that's gonna be tough. Oh, you better wear some extra padding. Get something on.
Yeah.
College coaches may come watch him by next year.
Yeah.
So that being said, some of the things that are gonna, and I think you remember in 8th grade, Todd and I sat down with you guys and went over. These are some of, well, I say invariables that coaches are going to look at. So if they see 3 kids that have about the same talent, same ability, and they're looking at them, it's not just going to be about their game.
So the school portion, I try to get all my stuff just done in class so I don't gotta do it at home. But if I do, then maybe I don't, like, say I take away a workout, then I'll take away a workout to do like my homework just in case I did have homework. Or maybe I have like not football, but like go hang out with my friends. I'm not gonna go hang out with my friends. I'm gonna do my homework so I can get it done and make sure I got to keep the grades up.
I know there's a lot of stereotype going on. Oh, he's an athlete, does that.
Yeah.
Any special treatment or any harder? Are they harder on?
Well, some
Yes.
teachers do expect more out of you just because you are an athlete or you do play football, basketball, whatever you do. But most teachers, they just treat you like everybody else in the class. They just make sure you do your work, make sure you're turning it in on time, make sure you're getting good grades. They really do stay on top of you a little more though.
Have you thought about what you would like to major in college? What are some of the goals and dreams that you have at this age?
I love the game. I don't think I can get away from it. I think I'm a major in like sports medicine or some with on that lines, like either a trainer for a college team or like a chiropractor or something along those lines. That's what I think of it.
Where I train, called Impact Fitness, the main guy who opened up the business, started that one. He went through another business too, that they mentored him anyway. His was exercise science.
Yeah.
So we're exercise, basically the same as exercise physiology or sports medicine. Well, if you want to go into sports medicine, that's something totally different. But that's always a great avenue because you want to stay around as the season is coming to an end. What are some of the goals that you have to see?
I want to go like second, third round into the playoffs because like I know we've from the first game to now we're a totally different team. I mean we're just way better team and we've developed so much more from the first game. But going into the playoffs, I just want to experience like that playoff feeling and like just try to be successful.
That atmosphere it's different than a regular season game because it could be it. And so my thought process is, as you being a leader, is to take advantage of that leadership, whether it's you, I don't know which leaders are on offense. I'm sure the coaches are telling you the same. Well, I want to thank you for being a guest here on the Rollin with Mike podcast. Yeah, you're welcome. I hope to see you continue to develop. I'll be there cheering you on week in, week out.
Yeah.
By God's grace, unless something different happens in my life. I just want to challenge you, closing, to never give up and never throw in the towel. Even when things are bad, you can always find areas that you see that need improvement. I know that your teammates will look up to you. If you ever heard the saying, I may be the leader on the team, but I'm willing to get in the dirt,
do whatever,
and grind it out with all of them. But as a team, we got to all find our own little place, the place that we can excel.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thank you for being a guest. I really appreciate it. Mitchell Mustangs are on the rise. We see great things coming in the next year or two. So I look forward to watching y'all mature and grow. Thank you.
Thank you.